nobody upstairs knows that I'm down here, and I'm rocking the Dreadnought mount. We should seriously, like, secretly surprise everybody. What's up, dudes and dudes in the internet? My name's Scythe. We are back in for some more Trove. Sorry to say that we're playing on PC, everybody. Why am I sorry about that? Because it means that we're not going to have a console video for quite some time, because look at this thing. I'm not going to have this on the console, man. It's a Dreadnought. It's beautiful. Also, let us do lunacy mode. Give me my Draco. Where's my Draco going on here? Because I want to show you all this. I don't know if I actually ended up showing this in recent videos, but I just think that's absolutely awesome. We should probably start like every video of the day with this because blah, 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 blah. I am gigantic. Yes! He wants to eat the souls of the living. Like, seriously. Let's actually fix our cooldown here. And then also, I thought this was absolutely dank, is, look, it's Pinata God riding another Titan, the Dreadnought. It's absolutely hilarious. Like, I'm not laughing at it, but it's good. It's really good. Also, to answer a lot of your questions, because so many people have been asking, no, for some strange reason, the Dreadnought does not actually shoot a laser outside of the front of its face, which is really strange because the laser tops, where is it? How do they actually spell it? Laser? Is that how? Laser? Tops. All right. Where is that stupid thing? Lasera tops. That's why I got it wrong. Okay, so this bad boy right here, which you actually get exclusively out of the Dino Tamer pack. Let's see if the biome is close. This guy actually shoots a laser, which seems to be all glitchy and weird. I would love to have this laser specifically. Like, even just copy and paste the exact same laser. Devs, please, if you're listening, put it on this guy. It belongs on this guy. Now, that said, of course, you see how the front eye is kind of moving back and forth. That, of course, would not be able to do that because if you were shooting lasers out of it, it would probably look a little bit wonky and broken if you were trying to shoot the laser backwards through your body. But then again, it looks ridiculous on the laser tops as well. Put it on this guy, I don't care, or just make it so that it always shoots straight out of him, or even where the eyeball is looking. I think that would actually be really cool, where it's not even accurate, it's just cool. Or maybe you hold left click and he does like his flame tirage or something. Also, I'm wondering whether or not, like, I swear, there's got to be a secret emote that you can actually do on this bad boy, because for those of you that don't know, with Princess Prancy Prance, we can actually type /prance. Let's do that again. There we go. And this is a unique emote for this mount. And then I think for the Dark Pegasus, I think that it's Trot. I'm not exactly sure on that one. But my point being that I would love to see a secret emote for the Dreadnought itself, wouldn't you? Yeah, I know. So anyways, what we're going to be doing today is, because as I'm recording this, I'm recording this before the weekly contest is done, which of course is probably already done by the time this video comes out, depending what ends up happening. I'm very, very busy because in Canada right now, it's Thanksgiving. So I'm trying to stock up on footage so that I end up not having to record and do stuff while I have family over and everything like that, right? So anyways, as of the time that I'm recording this, Tomb Raiser is in the competition for the weekly event, right? So that's total power rank on a class is going to end up giving you a bunch of Dark Vaults and junk like that so that I can hopefully end up getting the Dark Pegasus or Dark Pegasus wings. Honestly, it doesn't really matter to me because either way, it's awesome. The fact is, though, I've got all my gems swapped over to my Tomb Raiser, and he's 23,423, and he's rocking 101,336 for his base magic damage, 95.2 for the crit hit, 1555.2 crit damage. But I do want to point out that this class gem that I ended up just recently getting on him is not actually a perfect roll. It didn't end up, and I don't mean the stats, but it didn't end up rolling with all three of the stats. It only ended up rolling with 2, and it is also level 18, so it is not even fully maxed out, and I don't really feel like wasting all my gem dust on this thing. Let's get it to level 20 at least. Can we do anything? Look at the little amount of gem dust that ends up actually taking, which it's still quite expensive. Yes, we ended up getting it. All right, that's absolutely awesome. So did we get our crit hit? Well, we got it to 96. Whatever. And then oddly enough, I'm actually rocking a very strange combination of abilities, because the subclass ability for the Shadow Hunter, this is a pro tip right here that I am of course going to end up explaining whenever I finally end up finding the time to make updated subclass ability videos, because while recently I've been talking about how, oh, you know, I'm gonna be making the subclass ability videos, but I'm still experimenting with things, right? So this is one of the things that I've been experimenting with and also seeing people talking about on the forums, which I think is really, really cool. I hope that it's not an oversight, is the fact that you can actually magic attacks to enemies activate a searing light, a damage over time effect. So if we actually attack this enemy, you see, we trigger it on the enemy. It doesn't do much damage, but because we have a lifesteal ally on, we actually steal tons and tons of life, so it gives you a lot of survivability. Very, very interesting, and yes, folks, it does come in black. No, it does actually work with the Draco Bomb ability as well, because that is going to end up being the exact same thing, but it's going to be physical based. Now, I don't really think that makes a difference. We were stealing, what, like 15,000 life or something like that, so let's actually swap over to this Draco subclass ability. Doesn't seem to make any difference that we're using it for using the physical damage one, or does it? Did we actually end up triggering the effect right there? I don't think that we did. I think that was just our natural lifesteal going on. So let's see, can we end up actually triggering the ability? Yes, okay, so that's actually very interesting, because we are actually getting it to trigger the subclass ability, and maybe because it's actually based on physical damage rather than magic damage, it's not actually giving us the lifesteal? I could be just dead wrong about that. No, because otherwise right there we actually got it immediately. So that's very, very interesting that they actually ended up coding something like that. So anyways, what I wanted to show you most of all is just how powerful we can end up actually being though. So I'm going to swap off of this ally right here and go to something a little bit more our style. So do we want the Chronomancer, which reduces cooldowns? We don't necessarily need that. So let's use the second, actually, like, there's two magic allies that you end up using pretty much, which is going to be the Chromatic or Chronomancer or the Prefect Penguin. Of course, you can end up using a couple different allies for different situations, but these are going to be the ones for magic damage, and this one's going to give us the movement speed. It's pretty much the Raptor Berserker, but it's going to be magic based. And then I'm also rocking the Evil Eye emblem, which means that every time we pop a flash, it's going to summon an eyeball that's going to damage things based off our magic damage, and the Arcane emblem, and then I always just use Death Defying because I honestly don't care. I also want to double check and see, yes, we actually are rocking perfect gear, fully maxed out stellar gear, and most of all I want to see, so our base damage, as you can see right there, is 911 mil, or not 911,000, not a mil. Jiminy Crockett, like, are you kidding me, Matt, right now? That is just, that's like the worst typo of my life, but in real life, me saying it wrong. So we're doing 911k, and if we summon a little skeleton baby, he is actually doing 2.2 mil. So that's pretty crazy for the Tomb Raiser, dude, because I know lots of people have been asking me recently whether or not you can end up getting this guy to be powerful in U9, like seriously, or not even U9, but just about maining him in general, and yes, you can. Now, I'll explain why I personally wouldn't actually go for the Tomb Raiser myself, but again, I do want to stress enough that it is all about personal preference. You pick the character that you want to play. Now, your little babies are going to end up scaling off of your max health, as far as I know. I don't really main the Tomb Raiser enough to know, but again, it's all going to end up being about the maximum amount of damage, right? So it's not really going to matter that much about having max health on your Tomb Raiser. He used to be one of the strongest tanks in the game, but then after what they ended up changing with the Shadow Towers, and changing with him specifically, he is actually not the invincible tank that he used to be, because there actually was a very specific combination of potions and like the vial and emblems and stuff like that that you would end up using on this guy that would actually make him invincible, like actually invincible. And unfortunately, while I did have a video talking about it, and I was worried that the devs were going to patch it after I made the video, it did take them a long time, but they did end up changing it so that that method does not work anymore with the, is it the chaos file? The chaotic file, I think? Chaos file? Yeah, whatever. Anyways, you can watch my video. It's talking about like Tomb Raiser and U9 and Ultra Shadow Towers, and he was pretty much invincible with this build. They didn't end up coming with a solution, despite the fact that they ended up breaking that build. So now you can't really use a Tomb Raiser for tanking nearly as efficiently as you can with the Ice Sage in Ultra Towers, because that's pretty much the only area that you're going to end up tanking is when you're in towers, right? You're not going to want to do it while you're out roaming the world. That's disgusting. So let's see whether or not we can actually get our ult to trigger and summon enough like babies here. So this is just going to be 3 babies, and then we've got our big guy right there, which is hitting for 2.5 mil, or was that 25 mil? I don't really know. I don't really think so. He actually attacks the chest now. That's kind of scary. I didn't know that they ended up doing that. But in any case, yeah, the Tomb Raiser is going to end up being quite powerful, folks. And this is also not popping a flask. So if we pop a flask... Okay, we got the beamer eye emblem. I forgot about that. Let's actually get rid of that bad boy right there, just so that we can end up seeing the damage, because that's all it's about right now. Let's summon a little bit of these babies here, pop a flask, and now suddenly they're doing 5.6 mil. And you can have 5 skeleton babies at a time, your ult, and this guy right here, which is also going to end up doing quite a bit of damage, which is going to be off of your class gem ability. Whenever you end up triggering your Banshee's boon, he's going to end up showing up and being like, bleh, I'm ugly. So let's go down here and see if we can actually see the damage numbers off of him, because he's going to, okay, he's dead. Can you do anything? There we go. So he's actually doing the full-on 18... Was that 18 mil or 1.8 or something? He's actually doing quite a bit of damage, and he also seems to have AoE damage around him as well, so it's a little difficult for me to determine. How many numbers is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1.8 mil. So that's what he's doing without a flask. That's just him on his own. If we end up popping a flask, he's doing 4.7. So that's pretty crazy, dude, because that means we're going to have, if we're popping a flask, 5 mil out of each of these guys. So 5 mil times 5 times that other idiot, times your big bruiser. The Tomb Raiser definitely can handle himself at the end game. That's kind of what I wanted to most of all show you right here. Now, the reason why I personally would stay away from him as far as grinding is concerned is because he's slow. You can't actually build this guy towards being like, well, you can build him towards being a movement speed build, which of course you can see the gear that I'm rocking here is just disgusting. I had him built for a tank, so I had max health on everything, which means I could actually have crit hit on some of my other gear, I think. No, not necessarily. But I could end up having the movement speed, which is okay on the Tomb Raiser. It definitely does make him a good contender for an endgame farmer for sure, so you can end up playing him. But more so than not, the big reason why he's slow isn't because of his movement speed or anything like that, because, you know, he can kind of keep up with the rest of them. It's his slow build up to doing damage. That's most of all what it's about, because you're going to be going into a dungeon, and with the Fae, for example, you would one-shot the boss. The Neon Ninja, you do a shuriken, you one-shot the boss. Gunslinger, pop your ult, one-shot the boss. Dino Tamer, you throw down your net when you're in your ult, you one-shot the boss. Tomb Raiser, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Summon all your little babies, pop the ult, and then just keep on doing more and more damage. Like, that's the whole thing. He's kind of a damage over time character where he's going to slowly end up getting stronger and stronger, which does make him actually pretty good for Shadow Towers. Not necessarily if you're at the full-on end game, because that's the whole thing, is you're going to have better damage just by swapping all of your gems off of your Tomb Raiser to another character that has less casting animation, because that's pretty much what Trove boils down to as far as which characters are better, is the amount of movement speed that you end up having and cast time. That's why Shadow Hunter is one of the funnest, is because you don't have to worry about casting anything. You just left click and everything dies, because his ultimate is pretty much useless and, well, whatever. But most of all, I just wanted to show you, yes, for those of you that have been wondering and asking, I know a lot of you have been asking me in the Discord lately, Tomb Raiser definitely works for the end game. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Very much appreciated. Today, we're going to be giving away... Let's give away 1 Moonwing Dragon code and 5 Streamer Dream Boxes. I hope I still have some of them left. So, in order to qualify for all that I ask is you like the video. It's going to make the video show up in searches and stuff like that. And it just helps me out generally. And then also, you're going to end up having to leave a comment in the comment section down below. You're going to get a reply from my good pal Nintendo Gamer, who's going to let you know you won and how you end up actually going about getting the code and applying it to your account. And then all these codes are going to end up working for all different versions of Trove as well. Even though we're playing PC, it doesn't mean that the console players can't benefit from this. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. I personally would appreciate if you would like, share, favorite, and subscribe for more daily content. That's also going to build up loyalty points for my merch store. Links are in the description for that, where you can end up buying all sorts of cool shirts and stuff. Sayonara and stay epic, everybody.